Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everyone. This is a Fanboy commentary for the first episode of Toradora. And you'll get subsequential or subsequent or... Okay, there's going to be a bunch of other commentaries on each episode after this point, so let's get right to it. This show has left the best first impression on me from the first episode, just right out of the gate, than any other anime I think I've seen in 2 years. Maybe even longer than that. This is the best opening episode of any show I have seen in the longest time. The animation in this, it cannot be stated enough, is charming. It's just charming. These characters have such a life, such a vibrancy to them. Let's get down to the whole point of this show. It's a slice of life school anime from what I've watched so far. It's about this guy. It's his first day of high school. He comes in. He's got this really scary face that he inherited from his father. And everybody, all the girls are like, he has a scary face. We don't like him. And that causes a lot of problems for him. He kind of feels a little bit... I'm getting a lot of outsider vibes here. And he's got this crush on this one girl who's only had like a minute here. But she runs up to him and he gets all nervous and stuff. And she's adorable, of course. I'll end up memorizing the names of the characters later. But I'm horrible with character names. He ends up running into this one girl, though, who's the friend of the girl that he has a crush on. And she's like this fiery, passionate, just biatch, pretty much. She is straight out and out just nuts. And what ends up happening is that he ends up taking this love note that she had written for somebody else home. And she goes absolutely nuts. And she actually shows up in his house in the middle of the night in his apartment and starts attacking him with a wooden sword. It's so much insanity, and yet it was so cute, and it was so slice of life, and it was fantastic. The animation is so freaking good. My mind hasn't been blown like this for a while with just how charming these characters are. Immediately, the first time you see a character, you just get that vibe from their facial expressions, from the way they hold themselves. You get the sense of the character. I'm sure they're going to have a little more complexity as they come along, but honestly, you don't even need that. You need to just look at the way they move and the way that they handle themselves. I'm impressed, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. What ends up happening is that in order for him to get this crazy girl that shows up in his house in the middle of the night attacking him with a wooden sword off of his back, is that he ends up saying, I'll do anything you say, I swear. I'll be like a dog to you. I'll be your servant. And ends up that she lives in the huge old apartment complex next door, and she is quite literally going to take him up on it. And so the hilarity ensues. She kind of reminds me of like a small... somewhat more witchy, which I say instead of the other word, which is bitchy, because I don't use the word bitchy on this family program, version of Haruhi. She has that kind of bossing around sort of tone, which I like quite a bit. And, I think this show's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. For what it is, I didn't get quite as many laughs out of it as I could have. But this isn't really trying to throw in the gags. This is introducing the characters. And as far as doing that is concerned, is definitely a 4.5 out of 5. It is very near perfect opening episode. Can't wait to watch more. I prophesy, my children, I prophesy that Toradora is quite possibly the greatest slice of life anime I have ever seen in my entire freaking life. Oh my god. This second episode, and I don't mean to be gushing. Actually, I do mean to be gushing. This show is amazing. I have never gone through such a head trip over the first 2 episodes of an anime before. Sitting here, just watching this second episode, I go through a whole range of different emotions. I go through there's a big emotional scene in this. Actually, there's 2 or 3 big emotional scenes in this episode. There's humor, there's emotion, there's love, there's caring, there's understanding, there's violence, there's everything you could possibly want out of any sort of... It's like all spectrums of the human condition all rolled into one little 25-minute episode. you're sitting here trying to comprehend how they could have possibly made something so continuously awesome. And okay, let me summarize what happened in this episode. Basically, the entire class is kind of on to Taiga and the main character guy, which is what I'm going to call him now because I'm not even going to bother pronouncing his name. And Taiga and this main character guy are hanging out together because Taiga wants to get hooked up with the one other guy who has blue hair and glasses. We'll call him the nerdy guy from now on. Taiga wants to get together with the nerdy guy, and the main character guy still wants to get together with Taiga's best friend. We'll call her the red-headed dingbat chick. So the red-headed dingbat chick and the main character guy she thinks that he's together with Taiga. And she even goes so far as to go like, please take good care of her. If you make her cry, I will make you pay. But there's so much. You're sitting here and you're totally rooting for this couple of Taiga and the main character guy. They are so cute together. The chemistry. And it's weird talking about anime characters with chemistry. But these guys, you can literally see the sparks flaring between them. It's like fire is raining down between their eye sockets. Quite literally, this is the show that is going to beat the crap out of Lucky Star. I can just feel it. Because Lucky Star was my favorite slice of life show for a while there. Taiga literally takes a baseball bat. And like if Kanata and the rest of them were just sitting around saying, which end of the chocolate cornet would you like to eat from? Taiga and Toradora is literally just beating the crap out of the Lucky Star girls right now. Like the Lucky Star girls are already dead and lifeless and being thrown out in the ocean in body bags. And Taiga is like freaking tearing them apart with her wooden sword. This is how passionate I am about this show. It got to a point where you're starting to feel the tear glands start. There are moments in this that are emotional, that are touching, that are humorous. Wow, I cannot wait to see what else happens. And by the end of this, there's a recognition between the two of them, between Taiga and the main character guy. And I think they understand that they're sort of a pseudo couple, but they're not willing to admit that they're a couple at this point. And she still says that she's going to be going after the blue-haired nerdy guy. And I'm not so sure whether he's going after the red-haired girl or not anymore. But we'll see what happens. I cannot. This is a 5 out of 5, definitely. So far, this show is just blowing my mind on so many different levels. This is the show to watch right now. Put down whatever anime you're watching. It's probably not nearly as good as Toradora.